We are the Gujarat Technological University. Since its inception over a decade ago, GTU has been empowering young and curating minds to realize their true potential. Over 4 lakh inspired students are enrolled with one of the premier academic universities in India. With more than 450 affiliated colleges in its fold operating across 5 zones of the state, GTU, the International Innovative University, your place to move forward.
Hello friends, welcome to Zifty. Today we are dealing with some of the important formulas of Fourier series. First of all, to learn Fourier series, the most important thing required is integration. And to learn integration, the first and foremost thing is Fourier integral formula. So we are starting with basic Fourier integral formulas. First formula that we deal with integration is integration x raised to n dx is equal to x raised to n plus 1 by n plus 1. Here n is a constant term, power of x. Suppose n is equal to 2, then x raised to 2 plus 1 by 2 plus 1, that is x raised to 3 by 3. Our next formula is integration e raised to ax dx, that is equal to e raised to ax by a. That means integration of any exponential function is the exponential function itself, and the coefficient of that exponential function is divided by that integral. So the integration of e raised to ax into dx is e raised to ax by a. Next formula is integration of sin ax dx. So the integration of sin x is minus cos x, and integration of a sin x is minus cos ax by a. Our next formula is integration of cos ax dx, that is sin ax by a. Now moving to multiplication of any two functions. Integration of multiplication of any two function, that is e raised to ax into cos bx dx. The formula is e raised to ax by a square plus b square into a cos bx plus b sin bx. It means taking the coefficient of exponential function as a and taking the coefficient of cos function is equal to b. Substituting the value of a and b over here, that is integration of two function, that is an exponential function into cos function. For example, we are taking an example, that is integration of e raised to 2x into cos 3x dx. So now comparing the term over here, the coefficient of an exponential function over here is 2. So we are taking the coefficient of an exponential function as a. So a is equal to 2, and the coefficient of cos is 3 over here, and the standard coefficient of x cos is b. So b is equal to 3. Now substituting the value of a and b in this standard equation, we would get e raised to 2x by 2 whole square plus 3 square into 2 cos 3x plus 3 sin 3x. So that is integration of e raised to 2x cos 3x dx is equal to e raised to 2x upon 2 square plus 3 square into 2 cos 3x plus 3 sin 3x. Now the next integration portion is integration of e raised to ax into sin bx dx, that is e raised to ax by a square plus b square into a sin bx minus b cos bx. This is the similar formula. The difference is when you are integrating exponential into cos function, the first term arrived is cos, and when you are integrating exponential into sine function, the first function is sine, and there would be a change in plus and minus sign. When there is a sine function, the middle term would be minus, and when there is a cos function, the middle term is plus. Now moving to one of the most important part of integration, that is integration by parts. Now coming to integration by parts, it means when two functions are in multiplication, it could be any function. Till here there were only exponential functions into trigonometric function, that is cos and sine. Now we can take the multiplication of any two function. For example, take e raised to x into x raised to n. For example, x into cos x, that is multiplication of any two functions. If you want to integrate the multiplication of any two functions, we use integration by parts state, that is integration of u into v dx is equal to u as it is, integration of v, that is v1, minus differentiation of u dash into second time integration of v, that is v2, plus double differentiation of u, that is u double dash, into v integration of v, that is v triple integration, minus, and so on the chain follows. It means you have to differentiate the u always and you have to integrate the v every time. Now over here first we are taking u as h, that is constant. Then taking the differentiation of u, you would get u dash. Then again derivative of u dash is u double dash, and so on process follows till you get a constant term or a zero value. You have to follow the series. Similarly, integration of v, that is integration of v would get v1. Second time integration of that v1 would be v2. Third time integration of that v2 is v3, and so on the process follows. Now the question is, what is u and v? How can you choose what is u and what is v? So to choose u and v, the basic formula is ILATE. It means I stands for inverse function, L stands for logarithmic function, A stands for exponential function, T stands for trigonometric functions, and E stands for exponential function. Now what L states? That is logarithmic function, that is log x square, log x cube, and so on. I stands for inverse function, for example sine inverse x, cos inverse x, tan inverse x, and so on. What A stands for? X square, x cube, x plus 2, anything, that is your algebraic function. T stands for trigonometric function, that is sin x, cos x, tan x, and so on. What E stands for? Exponential function, that is e raised to x, e raised to 2x, e raised to 3x, and so on. The first term comes is always taken as u. According to this formula, the first, suppose L comes, then you are taking L is equal to u, and then the next term would be v. For example, taking an example, integration of x into cos 2x dx, that is, now we have to choose what is u and v. The multiplication of two functions are given, so obviously we would use integration by parts. So what is u and what is v? How can you choose? X means it is an algebraic function, so algebraic function. And what is cos 2x? That is in trigonometric functions. Now first in ILAT comes is algebraic function and then trigonometric functions. So our A is u and our T is v. So according to formula of u into v, first u as it is, it means first x as it is, then integration of v. What is integration of cos 2x is sin 2x by 2 minus differentiation of u, that is differentiation of x. What is differentiation of x? That is 1. Then next is second time integrating v, that is integration of again sine 2x. So integration of sine is minus cos 2x and the coefficient is again divided, so 2 into 2 is 2 square. Now using the term, what would you get? X into sine 2x by 2 minus minus plus cos 2x by 2 whole square. That is integration of x into cos 2x dx is x sine 2x by 2 plus cos 2x by 2 whole square. This was your basic integration by parts. It can be any function, that is exponential into trigonometric, or you can say exponential into algebraic term, inverse into algebraic term, any terms you can solve it by integrating by parts. Now moving to some of the important concept of trigonometric values that are useful in Fourier series. Now what is mean by trigonometric values? That are values of sine and cos. The values of sine and cos, that is the value of sine 0 is 0, the value of sine pi is 0, the value of sine 2n pi is 0, the value of sine n pi is 0. How can you state the values? This using an unit circle. If you studied unit circle before, the unit circle is stated like this: the value of 0, 2 pi, 0, 4 pi, 6 pi are stated over here, and the values of pi, 3 pi, 5 pi, 7 pi are stated over here. Now the coordinates of this point is 1, 0 and the coordinate of this point is minus 1, 0. How can you define a coordinate using trigonometric function? That can be written as cos x, sin x. It means the coordinate at x-axis is always cos and the coordinate at y-axis is always sin. Now how can you define the term like this? That is sine 0. Where is sine 0? Over here. The value of sine at this point is 0. So the value of sine 0 is 0. Similarly, the value of sine pi is always 0. How come? The value of sine pi? Sine pi is over this point and the value of sine over this point is 0. So the value of sine pi is 0. Similarly, the value of sine 2n pi is 0. How come? The value of sine 2n pi? It means taking the value of n is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you would get the term like 0, 2 pi, 4 pi, 6 pi and so on. That is all even terms that are standing over this line, and over here the value of sine is always 0. Similarly, the value of sine n pi is 0. How come? Suppose we are taking the value of n is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It means suppose we are taking the value of n is equal to 1, 3, 5, 7. That is pi, 3 pi, 5 pi, 7 pi. Over here the value of sine is 0. Suppose we are taking an even number, n is equal to, that is 2, 4, 6, 8. That means the points are over here 0, 2 pi, 4 pi, 6 pi and so on. At this point the value is also 0. So the value of n pi is always 0. Now coming to cos. Cos 0 is always 1. The value of cos 0 is at this point and over here cos is always 1. Similarly, the value of cos pi is minus 1. It means the value of cos pi is over this point and the value over here is always minus 1. Similarly, the value of cos 2n pi, it means always 1. How come? Suppose we are taking n is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We would get an even number, that is 2 pi, 4 pi, 6 pi, 10 pi and so on. That are all even number at this point, and value of cos over this value is always 1. And last but not the least, the value of cos n pi, that is minus 1 raised to n. If we take n value is odd number, that is n is equal to 1, 3, 5, 7. What would you get? Pi, 3 pi, 5 pi, 7 pi. Then the value is minus 1, that is minus 1 raised to 1, minus 1 raised to 3, minus 1 raised to 5, minus 1 raised to 7 is always minus 1, and the value of n is equal to even number, that means 2, 4, 6, 8. Then the value is 0, 2 pi, 4 pi and 6 pi and so on. That means minus 1 raised to 2, minus 1 raised to 4, minus 1 raised to 6 and so on. Any term raised to an even number, the term would convert it into a positive value, that is minus 1 raised to 2 is always 1. That means the term over here is 1. So standard formula of cos n pi is minus 1 raised to n. It means when the number n is odd, the value is minus 1, and when the value of n is even, the value is always plus 1. Okay. Last but not the least, the most important portion is trigonometric formulas that are used in Fourier series. Some of the important formulas that you studied before. The formulas are sin c cos d, that are multiplication of two trigonometric functions with different angle. The multiplication of sin c into cos d is always 1 by 2 into sin c plus d plus sin c minus d. Similarly, multiplication of cos c into sin d is 1 by 2 into sin c plus d minus sin c minus d. First sin comes, then cos comes, then there is a addition sign in between. First cos and then sin, then there is an subtraction sign in between. Now next formula is cos c into cos d, that is multiplication of two same functions with different angle. Then it would be 1 by 2 cos c plus d plus cos c minus d. And last but not the least, multiplication of two trigonometric functions, that is sine function, that is sin c into sin d. They both function are same but the angle are different. Then the formula is 1 by 2 minus cos c plus d plus cos c minus d. The difference, if there are two cos function, then there would be a plus sign, and if there is a sine function, then there would be a minus sign, but where in minus cos c plus d. Okay, these are some of the important formulas that you are going to use in Fourier series. So basically the important concept of Fourier series are being covered over here. Now in next lecture we would study about how the Fourier series is used, where it is used and how it is applied in further sums. Okay, thank you. If you like the video, please do press like button, do subscribe our channel for more update. If you have any type of query, please mail us your queries so that we can help you out.